Gwen Prothero, recent but repeated question asker, asks, bringing in collaborators versus going it alone. When do you consider something is too big or tricky to do by yourself? It is. So there's a few reasons to collaborate, and only one of them is resource allocation. I collaborate with people that I love just because that's fun. It's just super fun to do that. I collaborate with people I admire because I love showing up on their channel as much as I love them showing up on my channel. And for me, any given project includes skills that I have and skills that I might not, right? It's the spectrum of things I know well to things I don't know. And if there's a whole bunch in the things I don't know category, then absolutely I will reach out for help for that. I'm really agnostic. Actually, this leads to a nice and bigger point here. I'm agnostic about whether I collaborate or not. There's no sense to me of a purity of construction one way or another. And at cons, many of you people watching have probably come to my table at a con, and if you're wearing a costume, I will ask, did you make this? And it's a tricky question because the number of people that actually make everything in their costume is very small in general. Like I make a lot of my own costumes, but they involve multiple commissions. I may have one person build a helmet, and another person build a backpack, and then I build the suit, and then this person built the shoes. So the idea of did you make that is it's an aggressive question when really what you want to know is how did this come into being? And maybe that's what I should be asking. I bring this up because I've long wanted a better question than did you make this? Because people feel very much in front of me like they got to admit all the things they didn't build. No, I didn't. And I can see they feel bad that they didn't. And I don't want any of you to feel bad that you didn't make something on your costume because it exists because of you. You went out and gathered all those pieces and put them on your body. So maybe it's me. Maybe I need a better question than did you make this? And maybe I should just start asking, and it's a great idea, tell me how this costume came into being. And then we can all chat about the various, because again, I don't think that there's one that's better than the other. I love other people making stuff for me. I just got a new pair of gloves from Linda Guaris, my glove maker in Italy, who's on, like Linda, on Etsy. And the commissions make everything bigger. And I think within we have a creator-obsessed culture, and within that, and within a very cultural desire for authenticity in the people that you admire, there is this hidden idea that like a true creator makes everything themselves, and I think that's horseshit. That's not true. There's all sorts of different stripes of bringing something into being. Again, I'm going to end this little bit by repeating my definition of making is anytime you use your point of view to bring something into existence. That's it. So that costume is what you brought into existence. So if I'm going to try not to ask, did you make this? And we'll start with some new questions next con I go to. Patrick Hennessy asks, if you were going to go back to model making for movies, which company would you love to work for? I love that you asked this. As a freelancer, and I've been a freelancer for forever, what's coming down the pike is always what you're thinking about, but also I'm always positing what is the worst case scenario? What is the worst case scenario for my life? I was ostracized from my community and my family and my city, and I had to go somewhere alone. I figure within a fairly short order, I could probably fix cars for a living and just live in a nice place above a garage. Like, there's no sense to this vision of mine, but it is what I would do if the bottom fell out of absolutely totally everything. And that image of the making repairs for local folks from my garage is it's weirdly inspirational to me, because it's not that bad. I look at that and I'm like, yeah, we can make that work. We're handy. We can still use these things. And I've had that vision for the longest time. And these days, over the past 10 years that we have gotten to know and befriend and become members of the extended family of the Weta Workshop and the folks in Wellington, New Zealand, absolutely, Weta Workshop is where I would go if the bottom dropped out of everything and I was going back to making models for movies. Is the sound working all right?
We're still troubleshooting.
I'm sorry that we are having issues with our audio today. I'm trying to talk through it while Norm and Josh are fixing the issues. Okay, I'll keep talking. It would be Weta Workshop, 150%. That sounds like a lovely reality, to up stakes with everything and just go build things for a living over there. Should I pause?
No.
Okay. There's this moment that I had, and I think I've told this on the live stream before. Many years ago, Norm and Joey and I went to Weta Workshop with a suit of armor and a vision to make a movie with our friends at Weta. And we made a little movie with Peter Jackson and Richard Taylor. We'll include a link to that in the description. It's very fun. I ended up getting my arm chopped off by a demon. And Weta assembled that demon in record time. The demon was played by Shane Runge, who's an amazing stunt person and an amazing actor. He played many of your favorite orcs and Uruk-hai. And he was also the stunt coordinator for that. We have a whole video of him choreographing our fight. So much fun. I tell this story as a long way of saying, on the last day of production, Norm and Joey were doing some production stuff that they didn't need me for. And so I was just back at Weta in the main building. And they'd given us a little office next to Richard Taylor's office, this little offshoot, and a little satellite. And it had a couch in it. And that was where we put all our gear in the beginning of the days we were making the movie, and it's where we picked our stuff up at the end of the day. And with Norm and Joey off, I just went into that room and I took a nap. And I slept for about an hour and heard, that sleep you hear when. So I'm a napper. I'm an inveterate napper. I nap all the time. And in production on Mythbusters, I napped every day. Yeah, I napped almost every day at lunchtime. If we were on location, I'd nap in my car. If we were in the office, I napped under my desk. And so napping there in Weta Workshop, across from Richard's office, listening to Richard and Ree and the various folks moving around, Luke and everybody, I just had this deep feeling that I was home, in that way that you really feel when you're around a loving environment. So yeah, it would be Weta Workshop. Don't get me wrong, I would kill to go build stuff for Shane Mahan over at Legacy and for Mike Elizalde over at Spectrum Motion. Dudes, both of you, I would... We're having audio all over the place. I would work for both of those dudes in an absolute heartbeat. Also, yeah, Howard and Greg over at KNB, I would work for you guys. Yeah, basically, look, every time we head out to a special effects shop or a movie set, we find members of our extended family. And those of us who are production-oriented human beings, we love the grind. We know it can be abusive. We're here for the journey, and we love problem solving under pressure. So you could kind of take your pick of shops. I would also go work for my friends at FBFX. Hell, I'd work at Neil Scanlon's place. Any of you guys, anybody who would have me. Let's say that. I'm a freelancer. I wouldn't be picky about my work. I've come all the way around to the end of your question to reject it in its form. That's hilarious. Thank you for watching. I wanted to talk to you about Tested membership. The Tested members are a key community that we find really, really remarkable. That's very separate from Tested and from YouTube. The Tested members, they buy each other memberships during our live streams. So if you're wondering whether to become a member, watch one of our live streams and someone may just give you one. It is hard to overestimate how much the tested members actually make possible on this channel. They give us a lot of wiggle room. They give us a huge amount of feedback.
That's a member right now.
Thank you so much for enjoying your membership. For everything you need to know. And for all the members out there, thank you, thank you, thank you.